So, hello and welcome to Keka HR Conclave, the Indore chapter. We are here today to acknowledge the past achievements, celebrate the present, and strategize for the future of the business world through HR. So, a little backstory about Keka, for that matter. So, we started way back in 2015 as a bootstrapped entity and have grown to become India's leading SME HR tech provider. Anybody who doesn't know what Keka is here, before coming here, of course. All of you all knew Keka? Wonderful. Okay, fine. So, that being said, we strongly believe that employee experience is the core, the foundation of any organization, correct? So, and we strongly also believe that employee experience plus customer experience gives rise to 10 times the growth in any organization. That being said, I would like to call Ashish Ghakre on stage, who will be moderating the roundtable discussion for which we are here, right? So Ashish Ghakre is the founder of HR Shapers, who is also a very well-known HR in the human resource department. So can we have Ashish on stage, please? Can I have a round of applause?
Hello. You can hear me? Good evening. Good evening, Sunday evening. Okay, so we have done some weird thing, doing event on Sunday evening. That too in Indore, place like Indore. Yeah, because Indore is anyway a small city. But yeah, a lot of HR activity happening. So I thought people maybe, okay, so I like that. I like the street, yeah. Okay, so Indore is big city. Indore is professional city. A lot of HR activity happening, so many event happening. And Keka and HR Shaper is fortunate to be here. And thank you so much coming on this Sunday. We disturb your personal schedule, professional schedule, long weekend. Yeah, very long weekend. Yeah, but don't worry, we have a very good arrangement. Cocktail is there. We have a roundtable conversation. Yeah, which will keep you engaged for next 90 minutes. Myself and Kshitij, I will introduce him after some time. Okay, so my name is Ashish Ghakre, like Dr. Nishat said. Let me ask you, how many of you are HR professional? Okay. Business? Not from HR, business? 1, 2. Okay. Okay, great. So this is good combination because we are going to have a HR conversation which is also related to the business. So we need your input as well. HR Shaper is doing a roadshow with Keka. You know Keka, right? Do you have Keka product in your organization? Raise your hand. And those who want to take Keka now, raise your hand. Kshitij and team, please make a note of this. Just your team should continue stay in Indore this week, and they should go and have a demo there.
We can probably host another party as well, Ashish.
Yeah. In the maybe different hotel. Yeah, great. So HR Shaper is 8 years old body. We have presence in every location, India, out of India. He is the oldest member I can see in the room. Anybody else? Can I see? Nupur, Dr. Kanu. They are not here. Very bad. Yeah. So it's 8 years old body. We just celebrated anniversary in Lonavala, 3 days, 2 nights. We keep doing all the weird thing. But yeah, roadshow we are doing with Keka. You take the name of the city. We started before 6 months. And in every location we have done the event. Plus, on an average, HR Shaper event happening 2 to 3 events in a week. India as well as out of India. So last Keka event happened in Nagpur. And then Dubai event is happening on 22nd, which is the second Dubai event. 24th we are doing in Abu Dhabi. From here we'll go to most probably Bangalore, Mumbai, Hyderabad, or maybe some other part of the world. Great. Can someone tell me how much funding Keka got? Which month? I need data in a dollar as well as rupees. How much? 1,000 crore. Okay, this is more than expected actually. I hope they will get it next time. Anybody want to try? 57? Tell me in rupees. You are doing Google in rupees. Anyone else? Which month they got it? Okay, yeah, so both of you close to that. You said 1,000 crore, exactly 50% of the funding, 487 crore, close to that, 450 plus, between 450 to 500. What I mean to say, HR tech space is really booming like anything. I feel like leaving my job and start company and sell it. Look at the funding. I mean, some of us may not think that our company turnover will be like that much. Anybody has a turnover of more than 450 crores? Less than 450 crores? Most of you, right? Or 100 crores. So what I'm trying to bring the conversation is, this space has a lot of potential and ultimately it's catering to whom? Each one of you. Every company is looking for HRMS nowadays, right? Okay, and in the COVID, we have seen the essence and importance of HRMS is come in a big way, right? Every CEO, CHRO was saying, can you give me HRMS? I want to know XYZ and all, I want to have access, right? So Keka is basically very strong in SME space. You know full form of SME? Yeah, so in a different way, we can say it's catering to headcount of between 500 to 1000 or 0 to 1000. Yeah, so they are catching up like anything. And recently, you know, we have seen huge, I mean, I would call it magic. Anybody was there in People Matter Tech HR, Gurgaon? I want to challenge Indore people, not very active. Nobody gone to in Delhi, People Matter Tech HR. So Keka was main partner there, and there was a good response, and it really creating a lot of space in HRMS market. Yeah. The agenda of the evening will be roundtable conversation. There is no main topic, but yeah, we have kept it some topic, empowering HR people and all. The agenda, I would like to invite Satish and then tell more about it, but in a short, each table will have one topic. You'll talk in between. What I want now is, Kshitij, I will just take 2 minutes, just do the settlement of the okay. So whosoever is not having 100% occupancy in the table, I want people to join. So can you please join other table? You know, we don't want at least, you know, 2 to 3 people in the table. We want 100% attendance in each table. Okay, can you please join? 2 of you can join here. And I don't want people from same company in the same table. Because if you have less people on the table, then there won't be too much of insight coming, yeah? Okay, you can join here. 1 can join and 2 people can join here. Okay, Jai, please ensure that people should come and sit on the one table, not separately, yeah? Yeah? Okay, 2 of you can come here. Excuse me. Okay, so let me invite the gentleman who is with me in all the roadshow, Mr. Kshitij, process, subject matter expertise, and you know, he knows more than me, more than each one of you, what is HR. Yeah? Because you know, he has a policy of all the 1000 HR companies. Okay, he knows pinpoint, where is the problem, and he can tell you what exactly is the remedy for this. So thank you, Kshitij, for being there. Over to you now.
Right. Hello, everybody. I hope you all are having a good time here so far. So before I go about talking more on HR or what is the agenda of the conversation, let me introduce myself. I'm Kshitij. I'm a process coach here at Keka. I help organizations design talent management processes. So if you look at the equations in the workplaces, largely it is always a command-based leadership model on which the organizations operate. You know, where the leaders will decide the set of tasks and the objectives that people have, and then eventually everybody chases it. I, as a performance coach, have been helping organizations move to a more purpose and trust-driven leadership models where people are self-accountable towards the growth of the organization. How do I do it? Simple goal-setting methodologies, sessions orienting people, and that's largely my journey so far. Over the last decade, I have helped more than like 1,500 organizations designing these talent management processes, going through tech automations. And like I've been part of designing the Keka platform over a period of last decade. So to talk about what is going to be the agenda of the evening, we will be conducting a roundtable. We initially used to do panel discussions. We would have certain panelists who would talk on HR. But what I largely believe is that every single HR out there today is a leader, because on a daily basis, we kind of tackle people and we have that intelligence of how people or workplaces should be managed. So the entire idea of getting into a roundtable is to make sure that, you know, we get to speak to every single one of you about the challenges and the ideas which actually make your workplaces go better. So how we will go about it is that every table will have a certain topic. Karishma, if you can help the audience with a set of topics. Every table is supposed to have a topic, and it has the agenda written on it, but I will still brief it. So there is a problem statement in the topic which is related to HR, and you have to think about from your organization's perspective or your experience perspective that how what are these common challenges that you face on day-to-day basis, and if there are any solutions which effectively work in countering those, that will be helpful. I, as a moderator, will come to every single table and look at the same problem and the pointers from a tech standpoint about how actually a technology can assist you in countering those challenges in an effective manner and how Keka does that. So we will have 20 minutes of time before we go about starting the round table. Every table can have discussion. Every table is supposed to choose a leader which is going to represent the case, which is going to sum the pointers which the table has come up to. And we will come to table and we'll have a discussion. So keeping the time limit, just in interest of time, we have close to 26 tables today. Every table will have 4 minutes of time to represent the idea. And that works. If anybody has any queries about it, please raise hands. I'll be answering it. All right, everything looks good for now. So this is my exit.
Hello. So please quickly decide who will be the leader, because that's more important, so that leader can focus on delegation. But more to do with you need to have all the point together, and then when time is over, each table will present one by one. Yeah, we'll pick up randomly, not necessarily in a particular order.
All right, I think by far distribution of the topics would have happened. If any table has any confusions about the topic that has been given to them, you can always reach out to us. We'll try to help you on that.
We want people to come up with some weird idea, so that you can get to know from others and other can get to know from you. Yeah, don't bring up basic thing and basic policies which is already known by many people. So come up with some creative. It doesn't mean if it is not in your organization, but you want to bring some change in the company in this HR space. Yeah.
5 minutes to go.
Mr. Barun, you are here. Okay, great. Okay, are we done? Anybody left out anybody need more time? We are done.
Can we bring timer on the screen once?
So I like to introduce two okay, we are giving 2 more minutes. Yeah, thank you.
All right, perfect. We have table number 1 ready. I'll go clockwise from there then.
Okay, Hardik, can you listen? Okay, yes. Varun, you be here. Yeah. Okay, everybody please pay attention to the screen. We are running one video. Okay, so I want to call this gentleman, Mr. Varun, please come here. And we are so lucky to have him. He doesn't go to any conference. Huh? I have seen him only in one location actually. This is the second location. We are lucky to have you, Mr. Varun. He's the guy who is head of marketing. Okay, I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing designation properly or not. Yeah.
Very recently, Barun actually did quit on the title of head of marketing.
Global marketing.
Now he calls himself the first believer of Keka. So Barun has been part of Keka's journey ever since the inception of the company. The initial 10 people who started the brand, and he was still standing there and still standing here. So Barun has been taking care of the all marketing operations. Currently, if I talk about Keka's presence and prowess into the space of HR tech, we currently lead the HR tech space with at least 2x number of customers than any other brand in today that India has. So current number, if I talk about, it is 8,500 plus companies across India are utilizing our platform, with close to 1.5 million users across India which are there on our platform. This is, if you look at the kind of growth that we have done, we started this journey in 2015, and by now in 7 years, this is where we are. So handing it over to you, Barun, as a first believer, if you would want to give the people about Keka.
Hello. Yeah. So when we say first believer of Keka, it's not first believer of Keka. It's basically first believer for this cause where we just don't want to just sell product. That is very easy. आपके पास demand होगा तो आप खोज ही लोगे, right? That is easy part. The thing is, what we at Keka believe is human resource is very intangible asset. It's very difficult to measure, right? And that's why organizations have a people person, a HR, be taken care to take care of all those things, right? Now, in India, in last decade, if we say, यार ये ना अपना branding थोड़ा खराब हो गया है. HR रंगोली maker, HR ये, HR वो. This is very bad. We are one of the most crucial part of the organization. We are the one who start everything in the organization. From the first guy who joins the company, from the present guy who's gonna join the company. We are the one, we become that brand for him. We take lot of hats. Sometimes we become that bureaucrat. Sometimes we become that policeman. Sometimes we become that mother. Sometimes we become that father. Sometimes we just hang around with them. To keep them happy, at the same time, to make sure we are working towards that organization goal, the organization which you are part of, right? So, why these events and all? This event is not for just showing ki, okay, Keka is a brand that is gonna come, we are gonna do events. It's more than that. Each and every table, whoever you guys are sitting with, maybe you are friends, maybe you are not. Maybe you are just sitting with friends. If you are sitting with friends, then you are not using the opportunity. Don't sit with your friends. Find good people. Find new HR folks. You are a community. And in Keka, from the first day when I joined, and when I saw, ki, okay, there's something they are working on EX. I was a college grad. And I was like, okay, this is something I love to solve. Because CX problem, everybody is solving. कोई CRM बना रहा है, कोई sales tool बना रहा है, कोई जाके hotel management softwares बना रहा है and all. But EX तो सबको चाहिए. The employee experience part, everybody knows it, but nobody knows how to solve it. And are we looking at the opportunities that are there in the market on the EX part? So that time I decided ki, okay, slowly I will start working on this, which is on creating that HR a brand. यार HR CEO HR नहीं खोज रहा होगा. So the discussion should be whenever a CEO says कि okay, CEO क्या होता है? एक इंसान होता है जिसको कुछ impact create करना रहता है तो अपना business चलाना चालू करता है. That is a CEO. First of all, he has this mindset only. कि मेरे को impact create करना है. I wanted to do something. Let's do this, right? So that time, na, he always work on one part of it, like business बढ़ाना है, मेरे को अच्छे लोग चाहिए. I wanted to work with people who are more talented than me. And lot of time ना, they also know कि they need that help. अभी क्या हो रहा है ना? CEOs are interviewing HR to be part of the organization. There should be, after 10 years, the 10 years of fight I will do with you all guys, where HR will be interviewing CEO, saying that whether I will join your organization or not. That's the key, that's the differentiation we wanted to bring. So, यार केका का छोटा सा बाहर बूथ लगाए हैं, कुछ सेल वेल करने नहीं आए हैं, बट उतना भी नहीं. आप लोग पहले डिस्कस करो. आप लोग डिस्कस करो आप अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को कैसे देखना चाहते हो. How beautiful you want to see your organization. So I will not take that much time. So please, thank you. You all are here. I am very happy coming to Indore. When I landed Indore, I was like, I was knowing some of the people who are here, and Ashish is there from a very long time, and I was very much happy to see a lot of young HRs. And we are gonna change, we are gonna disrupt, we are gonna do a lot of wonderful things together. Thank you everyone for coming.
Okay, so that was Varun for us, and in a short, जितने भी चेक आते और जाते हैं इसके बिना नहीं होता है कंपनी में. The guy who is the architecture of this roadshow, we have been doing since last 6 months, and जो भी activity आप देखोगे, he is the guy who's planning and part of key activities of each and every marketing conversation and initiative. Great, Varun, thank you so much. Okay, so we can start. We'll go in random order. Kshitij, whom do you want to pick up?
Right, so the first table has volunteered. We'll start with table 1. Okay, perfect. So guys, I would request one common formality. Every time a speaker starts to speak or raps, applauses, I don't want to keep asking that. That will be very helpful.
Hello everyone, this is Sakshi Bhadoria. I am a people partner, HR people partner at Task Human. The common topic which we are having here, that is effective employee onboarding. So the topics which we have created with this topic is induction program should be very effective, which means there should be like the company vision and the company mission should be very clear to the new joinee and a new employee. HR policy and the company policy should be very, very clear to the new joinee, because most of the time if a new joinee is there and they are having a lot of concern and I think confusion regarding the company policies and the HR policies. And of course, there is a difference between HR policy and company policy, yes. And there should be a employee buddy or a new joinee buddy should be there for a week, and so I think 10 to 15 days, because every new joinee felt left out for the initial period when they are joining to a company. There is always an communication gap, I should say, or a gap is there between the manager and the other departments the employee new joinee would feel. So there should be a new joinee buddy for a week or for 10 days. First 90 days on the employee should be on a right foot for the first 90 days. Like they are on a very right career path for first 90 days at least, because that is the main period. 90 days for the company probation as well, and 90 days from the employee perspective as well. So that is very, very at that time the employee should be on very good and right career path for first 90 days. And the last topic is they should have very clear understanding about their job responsibilities. They are for what particular job role they have been hired into an organization. So that should be very, very clear from HR perspective as well, from company perspective as well, and last from their manager perspective as well. Thank you.
All right, so I think that was quite a holistic way of looking at it. Anybody in the crowd has any other missing pointers about effective employee onboarding, anything that works? All right, so that brings it to me. Major things that have been written here by the table, I will just summarize it. One is the emphasis on the induction program, right? It should be effective and it should be people-centric, just to make sure it's all for people at the end of the day, right? So that should go right. First 90 days, a great career path. clear understanding of job responsibilities and goals, right? So these are some of the aspects. I will now focus on what Keka as an HR tech can do for you into this space. So if I talk about Keka's employee onboarding module, it is end-to-end employee onboarding management. Now, if you look at employee onboarding, there are multiple operational plus strategic challenges which come while you try to do that. Now, if I talk about operational challenges, it is about communicating all the right set of stakeholders about the employee who is joining and the things that they need to do. A reporting manager has certain set of responsibilities. Peers have certain set of responsibilities. The organization leadership has certain set of responsibilities, and all of that is in play in that period. So Keka as a platform gives you, it automatically speaks to the hiring module that we have in our platform, and it makes sure that the onboarding can start as soon as your people join. You can design your workflows, keeping your teams in center. Let's say, if there is a sales team, if there is a, there are n number of functions within an organization, and for all different, functions, a lot of times the processes are required to be different. So one thing that table has written, which I don't agree with, I will also talk about that, which is the first 90 days. It's not necessarily required, right? If you go to Zomato, if they start giving 90 days of time period, they'll probably, they're already in loss, they'll make more losses, right? So it depends. It depends upon industry, it depends upon job function, it depends upon the responsibility that you want the people to handle. So keeping that in mind, just, before you go about starting onboarding the people or defining a process for people, just think from people perspective that how much time do they really require to do that, right? So Keka as a platform will manage all of it for you. You can design workflows, you can design tasks, you can design escalation and reminders, and the best part, the system comes with predefined analytics, where you can, on a top level, see all the set of important analytics which are important, right? So how many people are lagging on their tasks, how many people are doing their tasks effectively, how many of the people have not done it right. So all of that in one single view you can actually have in the platform. So thank you very much, table. That was great point. In the interest of time, I'll keep it short, my piece as well. Thank you, everyone. Coming to the table number 2.
Yeah, hi. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for giving us the topic to discuss. It's how to increase employee vacationing experience. How lovely to have vacation and long vacation, certainly. And for that, so my table discuss and we find out few points. One, we can assist on leave and travel assessment. That includes all kind of leave assessment, whether they are having annual leave, which kind of leave they are occupying, how many we can cover in like casual leaves, which employee also want, as well as travel assessment. That is, if they want to like find out some itinerary planning or something, we can surely assist them. Apart from that, then it comes with the project management. We are considering each kind of employee. It could have like subordinates and a hierarchy above, or we can have any part of the employee. Sorry. Yeah. So in that, we will include delegation of authorities. So it should be mentioned very clearly whom to call if the employee is on the vacation and in the absence. After that, it's technology as accessibility, like when they can be available online, or when they can be having their like free time in the vacation as well for office in case of emergency, or in case of higher management, because sometimes we need to make decision at the same time. Flexibility, work-life balance. So we are increasing that only with this particular experience. Apart from that, we are having visibility of vacation plan, and all things should be in a tool. I'm expecting it should be like accessible to all the departments related to that particular employee. So the hierarchy would have all kind of details, but subordinates or the peer can have only accessibilities to particular roles or only with the related task things. And when employees coming back, we can give a warm KT. What has been done, what kind of updates we have given, or what kind of updates in the project has been done. So he could also relate to this, and definitely we can take feedback from employee how the vacation experience was. So thank you for that. Thank you.
All right, how to increase employee vacationing experience? Of course, the answer lies in the set of policies that you keep for your people. Still, I would like to bring in certain perspective of how technology can help. So early 2015, while we at Keka used to fit in one single room, we were 10 people. Now we are close to 1,200 people in the organization. At that phase, we used to think of the reason of building that tech. Thank you. What is the point of building such a strong, such a big responsibility of opening the business? So if you look at any business, every business has a certain vision, certain purpose while it is born. Mostly it is to serve community. That is what actually motivates the entrepreneurs to get and start the business. So while we started developing, this was one of the aspects that we actually were focusing on. So we were building a leave management module where people can come and they can, you can manage all your leave balances, quota, all the different type of leaves that are there. And you can make sure that people can apply leaves and track all the important aspects. So at the same time, we thought that this can be done over an Excel. What's the point of building a tech? So that's where we realized that the leaves in itself is not about communicating that quota to people. It is about giving people that time where they can actually spend time with themselves, the family, and all the different kind of things that come across in our lives. So if you look at our platform today, the features that we have designed, I'll talk about some of them. One of the features is Team Leave Calendar, which helps individuals figure out that which of the leaves, which of my people are working on those days when I want to plan my leave, which of the days are more convenient to take a leave, right? So all of that becomes clear. We have holiday calendar in our platform, which can help you in understanding which of the long weekends are more suitable to go out, right? So that is a thing which our generation understands today. So those are few of the aspects. So the analytics, the UI, all of that is designed, making sure that the information that we want to communicate is going out in a story format. So if you look at our platform, you'll get the idea of why I'm focusing on this. So this sums my point on as a tech on how to improve employee vacationing experience. And thank you very much, Table, for the pointers here.
Kshitij, would like to add something. I have seen at least 5 companies, what they have done it differently. Based on the employee agreement and acceptance, they have collected the data, who has gone where, with how many people, which location, and how long. And this data, in the same way, it is feeded into system, and then it is published without the name. So you can see most people, let's say, depend upon the location also. Mumbai people will go to Lonavala, Delhi people will go to Uttarakhand. So likewise, everybody get the data, and then which destination, which hotel, which resort. Accordingly, one can easily apply for a discount over there. Because, many people come from the same company, people can apply for. So technology really help. All this analytics really help.
Thank you, Ashish. So that brings me to table number 3. I forgot. I'll introduce the topic if you want.
How to boost candidate experience.
All right. So table number 3, the topic is how to boost candidate experience while hiring. Everybody clear about what candidate experience is? I want to hear a loud yes, please. Thank you very much.
One question I want to, everybody okay with English or mix up Hindi English? Mix up Hindi English or English? Raise your hand for English. Okay, everybody okay with that? Are we going in a good speed, or we want us to slow in terms of talking and sharing?
I have a rate of speech problem. I am sorry, guys.
हाँ?
So, हिंदी में थोड़ा धीरे बात कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि साउथ इंडिया में रहते रहते हिंदी थोड़ा वीक हो गया है. So
we want to ensure message should go to each one properly. That's what the intention is, right? Okay, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Suyash, and our topic was how to boost candidate experience while hiring. But before going with this, Ashish asked a question about the language, Hindi or English. Ashish, you are standing in Indore. We are very customized. हमारे यहाँ pizza में भी सेव जीरा मन डलता है. So don't give them this option. So based on this particular question, I'm just sharing our insight, what exactly we are doing as in practicing being into Insta and whatsoever I learned prior to this. So there are 3 things which are a little different from maybe normally people used to say they are practicing, but this is what something from this beyond HR myopia. The first thing, for any level of the recruit, whether it is for the entry level or a moderate or a pro, we make sure that there must be a virtual round of interview. We respect their time and we make sure that time schedule must be on time. Second, inviting candidate on any level to the office premises for interview. We make sure that only done once. Post interview, there is a mandatory call that apart from our talent acquisition team, so there is a cross dynamic. So if ex recruiter line up a candidate, so definitely another one will make sure to have a 2-minute or 3-minute interaction post interview to know about candidate experience. So how he came, how is overall his experience during the interview, the time he spent, we respect that particular thing. And a very small, and that to be a goodie bag to be given to the candidate who came for the second round of interview. And that goodie bag is not an HR budget call, to be very honest. तो ऐसा नहीं ये मत बोलना कि hiring cost बढ़ रही है. That is a branding call. Put it a logo of your organization, put it a line with best compliments from. So no matter that candidate is going to be get selected or rejected, that brand reach out and that gives you a brand persona. Third, foremost important thing is feedback. So we have a TAT of 24 hours and the mode of communication. So if the candidate scheduled, validated, lined up, processed through WhatsApp or mobile, he must get a feedback. If the candidate, in any chance, there is a coordination of email, he get the feedback within 24 hours. So no matter whether he got shortlisted, rejected, on hold or selected. So that must be on a TAT of 24 hours. So that gives a right synergy to the candidate. If he got rejected, there must be a prefix template. You know, we regret and all. But at least that get to know. So that is something beyond a typical myopia of HRs. We get back to you. We already get back to you. Check your email. So this is what the third thing. And onboarding, if you see the experience while at the time of hiring, there must be a paperless hiring. So pre-joining, post-joining. So they have a set of some templates where they, recruiters and HR team make sure pre-joining, they used to send email, make sure the pre-joining documents whatsoever they want, like, income proof or something like that before offering the candidate. And there is a post-joining document like, experiences, certificates, educational certificates, photo IDs, and address proof. All this stuff, they no need to carry at the time of joining. Before joining, that pre-post joining, they get the links. They have to upload that particular thing before they get onboarded in the system. So at the time of joining, he no need to carry any Xerox or any original documents to get verified. So this, all 3-4 things are something which we are using, and I'm using from so long, and just to make sure a different experience of candidate.
Thank you very much, sir. Just a quick check. How many of you are recruiters? Raise your hands, please. All right, a fair number of recruiters. Any recruiters? Any hack for the community which works? Other than the table, whatever table spoke.
By the way, in today's scenario, everybody is recruiter. Then you are employee. Then you are CEO. Then you are CHRO. Please understand. So you need to know how the recruiter and recruitment activity process take place in the organization. We are recruiting every time, anytime, everywhere. Yeah. Recruiter, any input? This is your field. Yeah.
We can ask them to have some refreshments also if the company can. And the very first thing, the premises should be good and neat and clean. That will be a very first impact.
When you are having a final round with him, so you just need to tell them about the vision of a company, so he can align, like if I'll be working in the company for next 5 or 10 years, so mera position kya hoga after 5 to 10 years, so matlab, it would be easy for me to join your company. So I think this would be one of the coolest tech to get.
Brilliant. Actually, one of the Gartner surveys says that 80% of the people while they join the organization think that if they were communicated or they are being communicated the set of responsibilities that they need to take care, it will make their life way more easier after joining. So a lot of us as an employer make that mistake, that we are not that thorough while we raise a job, because there is a requisition coming in, there are no fundamental checks about that job, that what is the quality of that job, is it very well defined or not. So those aspects are extremely important to be moderated from HR as a department. So thank you very much, that's a great point. Please.
Hello everyone, this is Kajal from Display Technologies. So as we have in Indore more than many startups we have, so one more point I can add on. So while we are giving the final offer to the candidate, or if you are aligning the interviews with the candidate, it's very great if startups add their portfolios, right? So the people get to know the candidate who is applying for the position will tell them ki, make sure to go through the website. Like all HRs can relate with me that will tell them to go through the website. It's very great if we attach a portfolio of the company. That will make a very different impact in the candidate's mind. Yes, so this is the organization where I can join. I can add on so many things. So yeah, this is the one point. Thank you.
I personally use the same trick for eligibility of people. If they don't go through the website of the company, what the company does, there is no point of hiring them. And they're being irresponsible in the first place. But yeah, in the advanced stages of an interview, it is definitely required that you communicate that more effectively. Yes.
Thank you. Ajit Savijot this side, Capital Y Group of Companies. Frankly speaking, recruiter is someone who is the face of the company. No one knows the CEO, no one cares who is the founder of the organization. He talks to an HR and then decides whether to join or not to join this organization. Talking about what we face, most of the people out there are desperate to get a job. They randomly do not see which company they are applying for. They'll go ahead and apply 10, 20 different jobs. As a recruiter, I know the pain. You call up the candidate and he's like, which company? Which profile I have applied for? He is not even aware of. Then you have to go back and make him remind, you know, that नौकरी पे भाई आपने एक posting देखी थी, जहाँ पे आपने apply किया था, इस date को किया था, X, Y, Z, those things. At the end of the day, it is not their fault even. That is why we keep recruiters in the organization. We are not here just to, you know, take the initial interview round, check whether the cultural fitment is there or not, X, Y, Z, those things that we do. It is more about, you know, you tell them about your organization. That's how you even do branding of the organization. Whether the person is getting selected or rejected. At the end of the day, that's how the onboarding process goes fine, because the person is happy about the organization, knows what the organization is all about, what the roles and responsibilities is all about. At the end of the day, the person will join, not join. And on the joining date, we know how it happens. All the recruiters in the house.
Fair point, actually. How does Keka help you in, you know, in managing a candidate experience? So we as a tech, we are an end-to-end hiring management platform. We help you in managing this experience from all stakeholders' standpoint. Now let me emphasize on the set of stakeholders which are involved in a candidate or in a hiring process. So first stakeholder is probably a manager who is supposed to raise a requisition. So our platforms comes with a requisition management module where if there is any vacancy in your department, you can always feed in the set of vacancies with minimal criteria or the inputs which are required. And then it goes for an approval. If approved, if the budgets are approved, the requisition is created. The second, this was the first experience which is required to be managed for a manager's sake. Moving forward, once this is done, once you have created a job, Keka helps you in, it's a pre-integrated platform with all the social media platforms, plus the job boards that you use today. Be it Naukri, Monster, any of it which you utilize, to, let's say, LinkedIn, or if you are posting on Instagram or Facebook, the jobs, you can always do that in one single click in our platform. Third aspect, once the job has been created, it is posted, people will start applying. If you want to have pre-assessments for candidates, just to make sure there is a bare minimum filtration in terms of eligibility happens, system can take care of that. You move forward a bit, there's a pipeline which becomes, right? People will apply, there will be maybe 50, hundreds of candidates applying on same job. How do we manage it? You can define your hiring flow. For every job, you can have a unique hiring flow where you can define who will be the hiring managers, how many rounds of interview will be there. Just assign a hiring flow and your entire job is automated through our platform. System will send automatic mails, reminders as per your creation, keeping your brand, your logo, your pitches over there. You can define those, customize those mails in the platform. Moving forward, sir mentioned about pre-boarding. Now, pre-boarding is becoming very critical for candidate experience. This is where the candidate starts to evaluate how organized is organization, the one that I'm joining. Have they started communicating me effective set of information like vision and mission of the organization, the set of responsibilities that I will take care of, the set of documents that I require, right? So all of that can happen over the platform as a digital, and it can be entirely digital. So this is how Keka can help you as a tech enabler, which can actually help you in managing the inflows of candidates which come into the jobs. So thank you very much, table. We'll move to the table behind.
Hello, everyone. My name is Neeraj Madaudia. I'm an assistant manager HR of cyber infrastructure. So here, commonly we got a point, or we can say a good topic, like how to improve travel and reimbursement experience. So since my team also figured it out, and we had a pretty good discussion on the same, and we opted for a few points where we exactly need to look into as an HR prospect, or as well as with the employee prospect as well. So first, I would say we need to predefine an organized budget based on the experience and the type of work. Since obviously, like as we all are aware about, like a lot of team members in the company, even though they belongs to the different department, even they are not aware about the budget, and even though they are not aware about like what kind of expenses or what kind of reimbursement related to the traveling allowance, which we will gonna receive sooner or later, or any of the timeline which has been defined by the organization. So since we need to define we need to define as an organization the budget based on the experience and the type of work, what exactly for which they are going for, right? Now, there will be a scope, there will be a standard operational procedure which we need to define so that people can't misuse that. Because sometimes you also believe the same thing that like whenever someone opted for a traveling allowance and they went for something, and over there also like we need to opt. I'm just giving you one example for the same. Let's say someone went someone opted for a traveling allowance, and let's say like they utilized all the bills over there, the food allowances, but yeah, we need to restrict them on some particular things, like obviously they can't add the bills of alcohol, they can't add the bills of marijuana, or any stuff of apart from this food bills, right? So the people out there, they can't misuse that. That's why like we need to standardize the procedure and put down in front of them. Now, another thing I must say, like that's the best part, the turnaround time of reimbursement should be less. Means like it needs to be priorly defined that like within a 15 days of time, or might be within a prior period, like 30 days of prior period, which we need to define for them, so that like they are feeling very good while opting for that particular traveling allowance. Otherwise, let's suppose like if they opted for traveling allowance and reimbursement, and we are giving them after 6 months or later on after a year, so that will really not giving a good impact on them. Now, there is another point. There should be, as per our prospect, obviously there should be a transparency via using any of the application we can use via mobile application, or any of the application via we can inform them like what all are the procedures and policies of that particular traveling allowances and reimbursement policies, so that like they must be aware about that particular policies, what we guys are opting for that TA, right? And the reimbursement policies. And it needs to be like accessible via only one click. So it needs to be go via that particular mobile application. Since there will be no paperwork, so obviously they can access things via that particular application. Now, another point I need to involve, which is really a good point, travel insurance, right? Since in lot of cases, like we can see if someone opted for that, and in case employee falls sick in that particular during travel, so obviously we need to like put down travel insurance, and one traveling agent needs to be defined for some particular like processes, or for some particular like things to assist over there. Now, at last, yeah, feedback forms for the betterment of the process we need to include. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Table. So, how to improve travel and reimbursement experience? I think it has been covered pretty holistically. Only one pointer. Marijuana is still illegal. No bills given anywhere, all right? So, fair. Coming back to how to improve travel reimbursement, what does Keka do? What does Keka do? It takes care of every single process that you require to manage it. First is, the emphasis was on the interface that an individual requires, where they can see what is the policy, what is the band that they are associated with, and that band, what is the set of limits which is there, what are the different types of categories on which they can apply for reimbursements, or they can apply for travel advances that they require. So Keka helps you in configuring all of that. You can create policies, workflows, and you can very easily communicate it. One great feature that the platform, which we designed initially, was an auto policy generation. So how does that work? If you look at HR as a vertical, almost every process is a policy for people, right? Travel is a policy, talent acquisition is a policy, appraisal is a policy. If you look at it, time and attendance have policy, productivity tracking has a policy. So all these policies, while you configure in our platform, the policy documents are auto-generated in our platform. So how does that solve problem for you? Now, if you look at the dynamicity of policy, in a time like this where we just went through a phase of COVID, policies were being changed on a weekly basis. How effectively can we communicate it to people? We cannot expect HR department sending a mail every week to people that what is the policy this week. So Keka as a platform, you make that change in the back end of the setting, everybody's communicated automatically. The policy documents are auto-revised, which saves a lot of time in a lot of areas actually. So if you want to experience this brilliant feature, you can always get in touch with the team that is here. They will help you in showcasing few of the policy documents that platform generates. So that I should help.
Good evening, everyone. Just one point here, like when I travel as an employee in our organization, there is a policy of the reimbursement, right? Now, once I come back from the travel, what I need to do is, while I am applying for the reimbursement, I need to mention all the local conveyance expenses, okay? I mean, that also, there is one condition which is a little cumbersome over here, meaning, let's say if I have, traveled by Ola or any other, cab aggregator, then I need to attach the invoice, right? And unless I do that, I don't get it.
Correct.
So now, being in India, thoda sa jugaad to chalta hai. So in that drop-down option, what I have started doing is I have started selecting, instead of Ola, I select taxi. Now let's say when you go to the Delhi airport and you take up the prepaid taxi, by bill nahi diya, and then I submit that. So the point is, can we integrate, along with the travel and expense module, can we integrate the, let's say, aggregators, application, wherein, let's say I've just landed at my destination, I paid some amount to the Ola money or whatever that mode of payment is, I can simply click that invoice, okay? Either I click an invoice which is sent to my email ID,
right?
Or any other solution, owing to which I am not required to jot down what all expenses did I make.
Right.
Thereafter, I claim.
Makes sense. So yeah, it's actually a beautiful point if you look at it, right? And this is one challenge that we have been facing as a technology. So if I talk about this as a challenge, there are multiple challenges here. First is bills, lot of times are required to be manually feeded one by one as a field, which is quite a hard thing. So first thing that we did, we brought in a mobile application. where you can just simply click the picture, fill in the details and do it. Later, everywhere where documentation was required, we brought in an OCR technology where it automatically detects fields and automatically fills the information for people. That solves the effort problem. The third aspect that you were talking about, integration with the platforms. We are integrated with few of the marketplace vendors which can actually do that for you. We ourselves don't want to make a move in that direction because of multiple reasons. These are API related challenges. If you look at the maturity model of SaaS today, this is the first generation of companies, the software as a service companies or cloud companies, which is currently going on. Once they have reached a fundamental infrastructure, the data lake or integration as a concept will become a lot more stable. So we are still waiting for that maturity level 2 to arrive, while we will actually look at building a marketplace and combining all the set of applications which do make sense for people management. Thank you very much, sir.
People or not, that fellow say about local convince. Yes, that's a problem. Especially at the time of travel tours, local convince, we are not getting the convince bill. Most of the time nowadays, people using these cab facilities, whether it is Ola, Uber, and they have invoice process. Is there any scope to get API integrated directly that invoices can be attached and upload?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That's what I'm asking.
Like Ola, Uber, and these platforms need to make more, more, what should I call it, APIs which can actually do. But current business model of these cab providers is that they also provide corporate service, right? Where you can take a corporate account and you can allocate a certain budget, a cab budget to people. If they start doing this, the B2B model will go for a toss.
No,
because
cab budget is something which may be vary, like, especially this top-notch of Ola and Uber. If they're rainy season, they automatically improvise the rates, right? But once I traveled from a destination, let's say I went for a meeting, I landed at airport, I took a cab. So by default, that cab reached me to a particular place, which comes under my judiciary or which comes under my scope of work. And that invoice can automatically API integrated, or I can download that invoice and upload onto that mobile application. Can be possible?
Correct. So, and that's what I'm saying. It is possible, but if you look at the maturity of Ola today and Keka today, both of them are there in first phase of their journey. In this phase, Ola has a lot of problems which they really want to focus on right now, rather than focusing on building this experience. So because of which these partnerships are not happening as of yet, but this is a potential future that we also speculate. Given 2 to 3 years or 4 years of time frame, this will become more effective as a solution where we can actually do that. Currently what you can do is you can, in our platform, if you have aggregated reports, you can import and you can actually make that happen. On an individual level, it can happen. But direct integration with the service providers of cabs, Make My Trip, or all the different kind of booking portals that is there, this is a little far away for now. So, and it's not just for us, it's for everybody actually.
Possible because, for one of our project, we took this API integration, APIs from Ola and Uber for creating an aggregator service.
Okay.
So they have that
exactly. So if you look at it, Ola and Uber
invoice.
will do it as a dedicated customer for you if you are utilizing a corporate account. If they start doing it with us, the entire corporate account model will go for a toss for them. So they typically don't want to encourage any of the other vendors to get into this model for now. So they're keeping it closed as circuit, and we are not getting those open APIs where we can actually.
They are not provided.
So this is a strategic position.
That may be a problem. There may be a conflict of security also.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My question was is Keka have the option for the mobile application or something? As I googled it right now, you have leave application for mobile and iOS. So do you have applications for a single click where we can click the pictures of the invoices and everything? So we don't have to collect all the invoices and bills for the reimbursement.
It is there, and team, please show it. And if there is a short video I could play, I will play it for everybody by the end of the session. So keeping it short in interest of time, I don't think I will be able to wrap it up. Ashish, are you in the house? Okay. So, all right, I want you to speed it up a bit. I'll take a rest for a while.
Which is the table? Kshitij, knowledge handover. Okay, sir, आपका है? क्या topic है? How to measure employee satisfaction? Yes.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you, Keka team, for organizing such a wonderful event. My name is Ram Keswani and I'm from Verti System. We are the service-based organization. So the topic we discussed today along with my team, they are from Zentech, and we discussed about how to measure employee satisfaction. So although this is very complex and subjective topic, right? Because measuring employee satisfaction is not at all easy job, right? Because it involves the human behavior and as well as a lot of motivation factors. So we cannot, judge the employee is satisfied or not. Although we discussed on the common grounds, what are the, things which we can use it in our day-to-day so that we can figure out the ratio of the measure, the employee satisfaction part. So the first is the analytics tools. So nowadays there are many analytics tools which we can figure out and see that what the industry standards are doing, like what kind of policies the industry standards have been operating, and is there any difference in the policies which your organization is using? What are the loopholes in the current policies? And we can figure out those loopholes and work on it, because there is no harm to do the amendments on the policies whenever it requires, because it is mostly depend on the employee satisfaction. And if we want to rigid on the policies, then it may lose the employees and it will encounter to the attrition rate as well. So that is the one of the analytics tools where we can use it. The second and most important thing is the feedback mechanism. So the employees should have trust on the organization when they are giving the feedback, and those feedback should not be should not be judged, and they should not feel it that those feedback should be judged and there could be any repercussions behind that. So we should be very open up when they give the feedback, and we should give them a lot of trust, transparency whenever they are sharing the feedbacks. The third point we discussed about the surveys. Although these surveys, most of the companies, including our organization, we have been running the surveys, although it would not be that impactful, but there could be probabilities where we can modify the surveys with open-ended questions, as well as we can use the multiple choice questions, which would be, where we can figure out that are there any challenges they have been going through it, which we are not able to rectify those challenges on time. And the fourth thing about the social media or maybe Glassdoor reviews, although we cannot have control on Glassdoor reviews, but what happens when any employee is not satisfied, the Glassdoor is the only platform where he can, show his dissatisfaction. So the team should be there who can actively, randomly monitor the Glassdoor reviews, and their backend team should figure out the reason for those reviews, and there should be policies should be worked on it on those reviews. And the last thing about the people connect, the one-on-one connect with the employee, that plays a very important role rather than organizing the fun activities and other activities, because the people and human connect is very important nowadays to generate the trust and to maintain the transparency with the employees. Yeah, that's all the major points which we discussed along with with my team here. And I think we covered on the common grounds what are the measures we can go for it when it comes to the employee satisfaction. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. Ashish, the table shares the same topic. They would like to add certain pointers here. If you could just quickly go about. And my request to all future tables, I have literally wasted a lot of time already. I have 20 more minutes, so I will just go about going to every table. If you could summarize your pointers and give it shorter, in a shorter version to me, that will be way more helpful, and we will be able to wrap it up in time. So going back to you.
Hey. Hi everybody, my name is Ayush and I am from Decode Solutions. So I take care of people, so I am a people partner there. I do conduct employee satisfaction surveys and all. I have realized that measuring employee satisfaction is one of the biggest challenges because of data authenticity. We cannot rely on the data which we are getting out of the surveys, right? It depends on the mood of the person who is filling out that form, first of all. Second thing is that response rate is never 100%. So we cannot say that the number of employees in Decode or any other organization are satisfied or not. Third thing is that with frequent surveys, people lose interest and then they stop filling out surveys. So eventually the response rate decreases. Now we came up with an idea that why don't we create one-on-one connect with the team members, right? First of all, let's customize the surveys. Come up with questions which we realize that everybody can answer. And there we came up with one-on-one connect with people. I understand that it is not possible in large organizations. So there we can create special point of contact for this. Surveys should be people oriented. That person just told us that we have to create a trust that is a bilateral arrangement, right? So we have to create a trust, yes, and then the survey has to be very people oriented so that they really feel connected and related. कई बार ऐसा होता है they don't even want to answer a question until and unless they relate to that. And third thing which you will promote Keka on is to create online surveys, right? Create NPS, ENPS and make it open-ended, as well as we can keep it closed. We can find an opportunity. Most of the time people do not realize that HRs came up with such initiatives for us. With the help of ESAT surveys and all, we can make them realize that यार HR ये भी करता है तुम्हारे लिए. इस पे थोड़ा thought दो, ये भी एक initiative है जो कहीं छुप गया है organization में.
Some food for a thought, Kshitij, I will just take 30 seconds. आप लोग ने मोडोमीटर के बारे में सुना है? Chartboard, personalized chartboard सुना है? Somebody was saying Indore is progressive. Yeah, so we don't need to do survey. You know, if these two things are there with you, you know, मोडोमीटर क्या रहता है कि every day आपको 5 emojis दिखेगा, आप टिक मार्क करोगे. अगर एक एम्प्लॉय ने सेट पे किया तो फिर HRBP जाएंगे, कहेंगे बॉस प्रॉब्लम क्या है. अगर खुशी पे किया तो पता लगाएंगे भाई जो तुम कर रहे हो बताओ कुछ सीक्रेट. We can implement in entire organization. So this is happening in a big company, big cities and all. Indore must implement immediately. Okay, there are various company. Keka is also something related to the. Use the technology as much as you can. Personalized chatbot is the same thing, you know, right? आप अपना अवतार क्रिएट कर सकते हो, उसके पास पूरा डेटा रहेगा और वो सब. एंड सेकेंडली समटाइम सेटिस्फेक्शन में भी ओवरडू. Do we really need to satisfy every employee? You can't satisfy every employee, right? Just pick up the people who need to be satisfied and who are the backbone of the company, pillar of the organization. Take care of this, they will take care of the rest. Yeah, employee देखा ना आपने attrition. बड़ी कंपनी जिसका टर्नओवर अच्छा है, प्रोडक्टिविटी हाई है, 30% attrition. वहीं पे सबसे ज़्यादा रहता है जो पेपर पे नहीं आता. Okay, we go to next level.
Hi, good evening everyone. This side Tariq. I am from Serosoft. I am working as an HR manager. So we are discussing the how to measure like employee satisfaction, right? So I'll give the 2 examples. Not example, I'm just giving the 2 points where you can do, where you can improve. I'm seeing the traditional approach. The first one, any HR, any CEO should hire 2 to 3 fresher. Just ask them to go and interact with each and every employees without asking their name. You will get a real feedback. Second, HR should call at least once in a while. I don't want to mention any duration. Should call to their family member and ask them, आपके husband या आपके father या जो भी आपके job कर रहे हैं, how he is feeling in the organization. You will get the real feedback and the person should not disclose the name. So it's just a feedback how we can improve the employee satisfaction. I did this in my previous organization, not in the current organization. We can do it in the small mid organization. So it's a traditional approach I'm saying, one-on-one, without name, and just extend your information with your family members as well. Thanks a lot.
काफी brilliant strategy है. Claps people, like this is actually something which will work.
एक Kshitij, okay, yeah, I will cover later on. Yeah.
I think in Keka, I don't know whether it is in, like we should add like Quora part, that question and answering part. If the employee is facing some personal problems, so he can share over that and he can take views from other employees also.
अगर मैं केका के पर्सपेक्टिव से इसको एक्सप्लेन करूं, केका क्या करता है ये हिंदी में बता दूं. तो केका में आप सर्वेज रन कर सकते हैं, किसी भी तरह के सर्वेज. अगर मैं सर्वेज की बात करूं तो हर एम्प्लॉय, कोई भी एम्प्लॉय किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में होगा, उसके कुछ ही पर्सपेक्टिव्स होते हैं जिसपे उसका सेटिस्फैक्शन डिपेंड करता है. एक पर्सपेक्टिव है रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर के साथ कैसा है, तो आप उससे क्वेश्चंस आप पूछ सकते हैं ओपन एंडेड, जिसमें वो अपना रेटिंग्स दे सकते हैं और अपना दे कैन डिक्लेयर कि उनका क्या मूड है उस बारे में, राइट. हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स एक है, हाउ हैप्पी डू दे फील वर्किंग इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ग्रोथ के पर्सपेक्टिव पे लोगों का कंसर्न होता है, आप उस पर सर्वे रन कर सकते हैं. सो यू कैन क्रिएट ऑल द इंपॉर्टेंट क्राइटेरियाज ऑफ सर्वेज एंड यू कैन मेक श्योर दैट these surveys can cyclically run as a calendar in the platform. तो आप वीकली बना सकते हैं, मोबाइल ऐप पे आप पीपल कैन कीप पंचिंग, और आपको एक एनालिटिकल डैशबोर्ड केका प्रोवाइड करेगा जिसमें आप वीक ऑन वीक देख सकते हैं कि आपका सेटिस्फैक्शन सर्वे, सेटिस्फैक्शन स्कोरिंग आपका ऊपर जा रहा है या नीचे जा रहा है. सो ऑल ऑफ दैट ट्रैकिंग becomes extremely easy with Keka. So for all those purposes you can use it. Satisfaction का एक दूसरा पर्सपेक्टिव है जहाँ पे satisfaction का प्रॉब्लम आता है, वो है अप्रेजल्स का. अप्रेजल होगा, उसके बाद काफ़ी हाई चांसेस हैं कि बहुत सारे लोगों को ये प्रॉब्लम होगा कि वो सेटिस्फाइड फील नहीं करेंगे जिस भी तरह का उनको अप्रेजल मिला है. सो आप अप्रेजल प्लेटफॉर्म पे करने के बाद केका में परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट का मॉड्यूल है, अगर आप उसमें अप्रेजल करेंगे तो आप उसके बाद ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेसल के भी सर्वेज रन कर सकते हैं कि अगर किसी को प्रॉब्लम है तो वो अपना फ्लैग रेज कर सकता है. आप क्लोजली एक बार एम्प्लॉय के साथ कनेक्ट करके, मैनेजर के साथ कनेक्ट करके चेक कर सकते हैं कि कहाँ पे कंसर्न है, बिकॉज इफ एट दैट पॉइंट यू डू नॉट एड्रेस इट, it becomes a regrettable attrition eventually. Nobody works today for an organization which is not providing a promising growth or an appraisal to them, right? So on those regards, I would like to sum it up and move to the next table. Ashish, please.
Yeah, just I want to say one thing, that have you ever thought about कि employee satisfaction क्यों बोला जाता है, talent satisfaction क्यों नहीं बोलते? Employee satisfaction survey बोलते हैं, talent satisfaction survey क्यों नहीं बोलते? 90% जगह अपन word use कर रहा है talent, एम्प्लॉय नहीं यूज कर रहा है, बट सेटिस्फेक्शन में हमेशा एम्प्लॉय वर्ड यूज किया जाता है. फूड फॉर अ थॉट. ओके, नेक्स्ट टेबल. वेलकम टू दिस टेबल. यस, व्हाट इज द टॉपिक?
Hello everyone, Kajal Pandey this side from Destiny Technologies. My question is how to identify performer from non-performance. So basically I believe we all have a work evaluation policy as per our standard basis. So उसके accordingly we'll receive a graph. We have a Trello board जिस पे एम्प्लॉय जैसे काम करते हैं, क्या क्या उनका टास्क एलोकेट हुआ है, उनको डेली बेसिस पे क्या करना है, सो अकॉर्डिंगली उनका क्वार्टरली एक रिव्यू जनरेट हो जाता है. सो आफ्टर गेटिंग दैट HR के पास वो रिपोर्ट तो आ जाती है कि हाउ एम्प्लॉय इज परफॉर्मिंग. सो फ्रॉम दैट विल फिगर इट आउट कि विच वन इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग वेरी गुड. सो वी हैव आवर टीम डिस्कस्ड फ्यू पॉइंटर्स. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर वी आर गोइंग टू हैव एन इवेंट, राइट, सो एक सेम टाइम काइंड ऑफ टास्क विल एलोकेट टू द टीम एंड फिगर इट आउट कि उनका प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच कैसा है एंड हाउ एक्टिवली ही और शी इज अटेंडिंग और एंगेजिंग विद द इवेंट. सो फर्स्ट इज विल एलोकेट अ सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ टास्क टू अ टीम. सेकेंड इज वी एलोकेट अ डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टास्क एज पर द स्किल्स एंड एक्सपर्टीज. लेट मी गिव एन एग्जाम्पल. So for example, someone is very good in communicating, someone is very introvert type of people, or someone is very extrovert type of people. So as per their skills and expertise, we'll allocate the task and figure it out how good he is performing, right? So for example, अगर मेरा मैं बहुत extrovert हूँ, but someone is not that much extrovert, है ना, तो अगर हम अलग अलग टास्क नहीं allocate करेंगे उनके expertise के हिसाब से, तो how we'll figure it out? So it's important कि उनके skills and expertise के according we will allocate the task and from that we'll figure it out how he or she is performing. This is the second pointer. So इसी में I'll add one more point कि we'll figure it out how innovative thought process the person is having previously and why he or she is not engaging with the events or something, right? Maybe with the one-on-one session the HR will figure it out कि what happened with him. कोई फैमिली इश्यूज़ हैं, विल ऑल डू, आई गेस हम सब करते हैं, विल फिगर इट आउट इन पर्सन की कोई फैमिली इश्यूज़ हैं या फिर सैलरी इश्यूज़ हैं और समथिंग व्हाई ही इज़ नॉट एंगेजिंग. सो बाय डूइंग फीडबैक सेशंस वी कैन फिगर इट आउट. नेक्स्ट इज विल टेक अ फीडबैक फ्रॉम इंटरनल टीम एंड विद क्लाइंट ऑल्सो कि क्या एग्जैक्ट इशू आ रहा है उनको. तो बाय डूइंग दैट विल फिगर इट आउट कि वाई ही इज़ नॉट परफॉर्मिंग, वाई मे भी हो सकता है कि क्लाइंट से उनका कुछ इशूज़ हुए हों. So with that we can figure it out. Next, engaging persona attitude we have to check by creating a different type of SOP. For that we can use digital platforms that I guess we all are using. कि हमें उनका अगर परफॉर्मेंस एवेल्युएट करना है तो क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं जिससे हम उनको एंगेज करके फिगर आउट कर सकते हैं how he or she is feeling. And then training and QA session we all do I guess. So these are my pointers. Thank you so much everyone.
परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट की बात करते हैं. तो पहले जो क्वेश्चन है परफॉर्मर्स और नॉन परफॉर्मर्स को आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करें, तो सबसे पहले लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड परफॉर्मर. एम्प्लॉय का परफॉर्मेंस किस चीज़ पे डिपेंड करता है. तो अगर हम किसी भी एम्प्लॉय के बारे में बात करें तो तीन मेजर फ्रेमवर्क हैं जिसपे एक एम्प्लॉय परफॉर्म करेगा तो इट वुड बी अ ग्रेट रिसोर्स फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. पहला फ्रेमवर्क है आपके गोल्स, आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, आपकी the targets, the KPIs. There are so many type of nomenclatures. Some call it objective, some call it KPI, some call it KRA, some call it what should I call it? Goals, right? So many different kind of goal setting methods and so many different type of goals. But essentially, जो गोल्स का फ्रेमवर्क है वो एक एम्प्लॉय को ये बताता है कि उनको क्या करना है उस जॉब में और कितना करना है और किस टाइम फ्रेम में करना है. तो गोल सेटिंग का प्रोसेस एक साइक्लिक प्रोसेस है जिसमें हम मेजर करते हैं कि एम्प्लॉय ने परफॉर्म कैसे किया. दूसरा एस्पेक्ट अगर मैं बात करूं एम्प्लॉय के परफॉर्मेंस की, वो है कॉम्पिटेंसीज और स्किल्स. कि एक एम्प्लॉय के अंदर वो जो टारगेट्स दिए गए हैं उसको करने के लिए जो स्किल्स चाहिए, हाउ कॉम्पिटेंट आर दोस पीपल ऑन दोस स्किल्स. सो कॉम्पिटेंसीज की बात करें तो कुछ जॉब स्पेसिफिक कॉम्पिटेंसीज होती हैं, कुछ कॉमन सक्सेस कॉम्पिटेंसीज हैं, कुछ कोर कॉम्पिटेंसीज हैं. आप फ्रेमवर्क बना सकते हैं हर जॉब के पर्सपेक्टिव से माइंड में रखते हुए. केका में लाइक दैट इज वन पॉसिबिलिटी कि किस जॉब के लिए कौन सी कॉम्पिटेंसीज में कितना एक्सेलेंस आपके अंदर होना चाहिए. सो ये एक एम्प्लॉय को उसका लर्निंग पाथ भी बताता है कि इन स्किल्स पे अगर मैं एक्सेल करूंगा तो आई विल बी एबल टू डू दिस इफेक्टिवली. तीसरा फ्रेमवर्क वैल्यूज का है. वैल्यूज आर एसेंशियल एंड वैल्यूज कम फ्रॉम द विजन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. वैल्यूज डिफाइन कि आपके लोग कंपनी के अंदर, कंपनी के बाहर आपके कस्टमर्स के साथ कैसे बिहेव करेंगे. तो वो इफ आई टॉक अबाउट सम वैल्यूज, discipline, integrity, focus, these are some human values, behaviors which kind of make a person exceptional or average, right? So if you are measuring people's performance on all these criteria, jahan pe they do self rating for themselves, that how do they think they performed on their goals, how do they think how competent they are on their competencies, how aligned they are with the values that the organization expects out of them, you will be able to get a self assessment score. Then there is a manager assessment where manager can rate on the same criteria. आपको एक perception gap भी दिखेगा कि manager के हिसाब से तो 3 स्टार है, employee सोचता है मैं 4.5 हूँ. तो ये 1.5 का जो perception gap है, अगर आपने उसको as an HR address नहीं किया सही टाइम पे रहते तो it will become a tumor in the relationship, right? So these are some of the measures which I'm talking about from a performance standpoint. 360 डिग्री आप सर्वेस कर सकते हैं, आप peers को इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं ताकि एक होलिस्टिक व्यू मिले. कई बार biasness, managerial biasness is very real. Halo effect है, horn effect है, recency effect है, बहुत सारे biases हैं जिसकी वजह से जो ratings आ रहे हैं वो accurate नहीं होते. तो उसको perspective में रखते हुए आप 360 डिग्री कर सकते हैं. So once you are rating people on all the important criteria, Keka as a platform provides you an auto-driven bell curve which tells you कि कितने % लोग आपके performers हैं, average performance हैं, below average performers हैं, कितने लोग non-performers हैं. हमारे पास 9 बॉक्स भी है अगर आप परफॉर्मेंस और पोटेंशियल पे मेजर कर रहे हैं. परफॉर्मेंस ऑन KPIs, potential on competencies and values, you can see that which of the people are good with potential and performance and which of the people are average at it. So this will give you a high level outlook, a bird eye view of your organization performance index, which is where Keka can help you. So that sums up my point on Keka's performance bit, how Keka can help you on that.
Okay, who's the next table? क्या आवाज निकली आपकी? हाँ, परफॉर्मर वर्सेस नॉन परफॉर्मर, टॉपिक भी इंटरेस्टिंग है. हाँ, बोलिए.
So usually in small businesses or mid-level organizations, it is very difficult to set KRAs and KPIs. And when we are talking about performance management, it becomes very difficult for us to differentiate between performers and non-performers. Usually ऐसा होता है कि यार जिसके पास ज़्यादा काम है, जो टाइम पे डिलीवर कर रहे हैं, he is a performer. It is a dilemma, I understand, but usually we face this. How can, if you have any idea to reduce this, please enlighten me.
All right. So what you are essentially focusing on, let me, before I answer that, for everybody's information, I would like to talk a bit on how performance as a framework or as a process works for an organization. So essentially, there are 4 steps in an entire performance management process. Step number 1 is identification of what matters, right? So this is the goal setting process, where everybody is supposed to identify what will they do in next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, which will contribute to objectives of the organization or contribute to the long-term vision that the organization has. The goal setting is where the challenge is. You truly understand that because इसमें कुछ challenges ऐसे हैं जैसे कि goals irrelevant हो जाते हैं. 3 आपने goals लिखे, 3 महीने बाद आपको लगने लगता है कि you have outsmarted these goals, और या फिर equation बदल गई है, goals नए आ गए हैं. So वो dynamicity है performance management में. तो Keka as a platform, हमने इसको एक dynamic platform बनाया है जहाँ पे आप कॉन्स्टेंटली गोल फीड कर सकते हैं, मॉडरेट कर सकते हैं, और आप साइक्लिकली ग्रोथ को फीड कर सकते हैं. जैसे कि मान लीजिए मैं एक एग्जांपल लेता हूँ, क्वांटिटेटिव एग्जांपल है. सेल्स की बात करते हैं. अगर कोई सेल्स का इंडिविजुअल है, उसको एक सेल्स टारगेट मिलेगा कि आपको लेट्स से 50 लाख का धंधा करना है इस क्वार्टर में, ठीक है. जैसे ही ये गोल असाइन होगा, वो फील्ड पे निकलेंगे या जो भी उनका मेथड होगा सोर्सिंग का, वो बिजनेस के सोर्सिंग के लिए निकलेंगे. सो जो जैसे जैसे वीक पास होगा, वैसे वैसे वो अपने गोल के करीब भी आएंगे, अचीव भी करेंगे. तो आप कॉन्स्टेंटली केका के प्लेटफॉर्म में आपका जो गोल, जो आपका टारगेट है, उसके अगेंस्ट सारे एम्प्लॉइज अपना प्रोग्रेस भी फीड कर सकते हैं, जो कि उन्हें एक ट्रांसपेरेंट आउटलुक देता है कि कितना उनके कौन से गोल्स ट्रैक पे चल रहे हैं, कौन से गोल्स उनके एट रिस्क हैं, और वो ये ट्रिगर भी रेस कर सकते हैं. अगर सही टाइम पे रहते हैं, मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत सिचुएशन चैलेंजिंग हो रही है, तो मैं अपना फीडबैक डाल के वहाँ पे इस गोल के साथ ये प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, आप मैनेजर को कम्युनिकेट कर सकते हो सही टाइम पे. तो आपको वो 3 महीने के बाद आप you can't go back in time and improve their performance. So it should happen on an ongoing basis, or where we have designed it as a platform. Now goal setting, जिसके बारे में आप बात कर रहे थे, there are largely 4 methods of goal setting today. The most common method is the KRA KPI method, key resource area and key performance indicators, which is more of a metrics that you need to achieve, right? ये आप कम्युनिकेट कर सकते हो, ये आपके मेट्रिकल गोल सेटिंग है. इसके अलावा OKR गोल सेटिंग मेथड है, जो कि आउटकम सेंट्रिक है, कि आप एक्चुअल में आप ये मेट्रिक अचीव करके आप कौन सा आउटकम अचीव करना चाहते हो, क्या इम्पैक्ट आएगा बिजनेस को, इससे क्या वैल्यू जनरेट होगा. सो यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट दैट आउटकम एंड यू हैव टू राइट गोल कीपिंग दैट इन माइंड. सो आपको अलग अलग गोल सेटिंग प्रोसेसेस को एक्सप्लोर करना होगा और अपने लोगों को ये अवेयर कराना होगा कि गोल सेट किए कैसे जाते हैं. अगर मैं गोल सेटिंग की बात करूँ, सबसे कॉमन गोल सेटिंग मेथड है स्मार्ट गोल्स मेथडोलॉजी. स्मार्ट इज एक्रोनिम, स्पेसिफिक, मेजरेबल, अटेनेबल, रेलेवेंट एंड टाइम बाउंड. सो अगर मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ आपको, मैं एक गोल लिख सकता हूँ कि मुझे इस क्वार्टर में 5 किलो वेट लूज करना है, राइट. तो क्या ये स्मार्ट गोल है, इसको चेक करते हैं. सो ये आपको, ये एक्सरसाइज आपको हर एक इंडिविजुअल के साथ करनी है. अभी हाउ डू आई डू इट, आई एक्सप्लेन देम. मुझे 5 kg वेट लूज करना है इस क्वार्टर में. क्या ये गोल स्पेसिफिक है? स्पेसिफिक तो है, लेकिन और स्पेसिफिक हो सकता है. कैसे? 3 महीने में टाइम बाउंड कर दिया है आपने मेट्रिक डिफाइन, मेजरेबल कर दिया है कि 5 किलो कम करना है बाय गोइंग टू द जिम एंड डाइटिंग, और स्पेसिफिक हो गया. तो आपके पास आपको एक क्लैरिटी आती है कि आप कैसे इसको एग्जीक्यूट करने वाले हैं. फिर आप उसको स्मार्ट, आपने स्पेसिफिक देख लिया, मेजरेबिलिटी देख ली, अटेनेबल देख लिया. 5 किलो अटेनेबल है क्वार्टर में, काफी डिफिकल्ट है या फिर इजी है, वो आपको जज करना है ना. तो अगर रियलिस्टिक है गोल या नहीं, वो आप चेक करते हो अटेनेबिलिटी के एस्पेक्ट में. रेलेवेंट है कि नहीं आपके लिए, आप क्यों आप ये गोल क्यों लिख रहे हो, आपको 5 किलो वेट क्यों लूज करना है. अनटिल अनलेस आपने उस वाई को स्ट्रांगली सोचा है, आप उस गोल के लिए ऑनेस्ट नहीं हो सकते. अगर मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, इसके पीछे कुछ एक डिजायर होगी स्ट्रांग. सो दैट इज वेयर यू चेक फॉर द आर, which is it relevant for me, and if it is relevant, then I will be more dedicated towards it. So all these practices about performance management, if you study more, it will actually help you in guiding your people in a right dimension. Keka, how can Keka help? हम एक नॉन कॉमर्शियल एंटिटी भी रन करते हैं, केका एकेडमी करके. उसमें हमने सर्टिफिकेशंस HR प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए रखे हैं, कंप्लीटली फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट. आप लोग academy.keka.com पे जाकर के सब्सक्राइब करके यू कैन टेक परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट का सर्टिफिकेशन, व्हिच कैन हेल्प यू इन डिजाइनिंग मोर इफेक्टिव प्रोसेसेस फॉर योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. I hope that helps. Yes.
When you're talking about the replacement of matrix or adding or removing the old goals or kind of modifying it, you're giving a weighted average to that concept?
Yes, it is. That it works that way. So if you look at it, in performance, all these criteria are important. Now weightage defines कि किस गोल की प्रायोरिटी कितनी है. आपका लर्निंग गोल 80% प्रायोरिटी पे नहीं हो सकता, कंपनी का बिजनेस गोल आपका 80% प्रायोरिटी पे हो सकता है. तो वो वेटेज ये डिफाइन करता है कि वेटेड एवरेज मेथड में आप कहाँ पे फोकस ज्यादा देना चाहते हैं. वी कैन डू दैट इन Keka.
So quarter 1, let's say there are 4 different goals. Quarter 2, one gets replaced and there is a new one. When you do the yearly rating, how will you add on to those aggregates?
So you can do quarterly ratings in that scenario. Right? तो आप क्वार्टरली बेसिस पे आप रेटिंग कर सकते हैं. गोल्स अगर चेंज हो रहे हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपका रेटिंग का असेसमेंट भी चेंज हो जाता है. सो इस क्वार्टर के लिए जो गोल सेट हैं, जो टारगेट सेट हैं, जब फॉर्म जनरेट होता है तो ऑटोमेटिकली उसको पिक करता है उस गोल शीट से एम्प्लॉय के. सो
will it be possible for you to cover that in the demo?
Actually, we haven't planned a demo as is on the platform here, but there is a team outside which has the platform. If you want to take a quick look, people can actually help.
Thank
you. Team, please keep it noted. Ashish, back to you. Where are you?
How many tables? Yeah, that's my next question. How many tables left out? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll come to this. So keep it very short, sweet and simple. Yeah. It's 8:30. I want to wind up by 9. Everybody okay with that?
Good evening, all of
Yeah.
you. I am Ekta. I am working with a quantitative finance company by the name of Quantile Analytics Private Limited. So we got the topic, how is organization structure critical for HR strategy? There are challenges like the organization structure, whether it is a flat or a hierarchical structure we are following, the size and management style, planning and execution could be a challenge, need assessment, technology tools, the kind of approval we get, the implementation, then cultivating the right culture is again another challenge. So we just discussed few of points. Organization structure plays a critical role in HR strategy as it defines how organization functions or the roles and responsibilities are distributed. Structure influences how HR processes are designed and resource allocation is to be done. A well-assigned structure is definitely supports effective implementation of the strategies. Strategy and structure go hand in hand. Without the structure, strategy is like having a map without any destination. Without structure, without strategy, no structure can work successfully. The results are not focused. There is a poor execution of the process and poor utilization of resources. As the business grows and operates, the structure may change, adding new employees, leaders in the hierarchy. This change eventually changes the strategy. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening all. This is Monica from CodeNote. My topic is what are the key analytics to manage in HR? Basically, analytics we talk about, so it is data that is required for a organization to functionally perform well. And the key components, if I'll say, that is into the recruitment, training and development, performance management, time and cost, leave and attendance, employee engagement, where this is required basically. I'll keep it short.
Oh, so fast. Okay, thank you. So analytics very critical. Anybody who has done the course in analytics in this room? Okay, I want everybody to invest or waste your money in 3 courses.
Hi Ashish, I did HR analytics.
Wonderful, yeah. Great. So I want everybody to invest or waste your money in 3 HR courses: digital HR, analytics, and HR compliances. ये तीनों फील्ड इतना प्रोग्रेस कर रही है faster than you can think of anything else. Okay, analytics. Thank you so much. You covered kind of good dashboard point. That's really important. Data is the new currency and data is always going to be the currency. Boss आपको बोलता है, आप कोई भी काम करते हो तो boss बोलता है, show me the data.
Correct.
Right? CEO, CHRO बोलता है, show me the data. Reason मालूम है क्यों बोलते हैं वो लोग? They wanted to have more time. They wanted to buy the time. Because मालूम है आप नहीं दे पाओगे data. Not only HR but most of the department, they are so weak in giving the data. एक्सेल फाइल डाउनलोड करोगे, उसको पढ़ोगे, फिर वो कहेगा एक्सेल नहीं, मुझे पीपीटी बना के दो. They are also very lazy, they don't want to see the dashboard, but they want Excel file to download, put it in a PPT which is already there in the dashboard. So ये सब trick है, हाँ? These are organization dynamics. One need to understand. And data is always 3 kind of data. Please understand. Your data, my data, and actual data. So please understand the difference when you talk to anybody else. Okay, we'll go to this table. Yeah.
So hello everyone, Harshal this side from Amorphous Technologies. My topic is so common today, that is how to build a right culture in organization. I hope every HR knows that, but still I covered some point, that is first we have to balance between the management and the employee, because this is a very basic point. We have to हमें employees को भी खुश रखना है, management को भी खुश रखना है as an HR. And right now we have to make some policies as well. Like after COVID, employees are asking for the work from home. Like Friday मन नहीं हुआ, work from home कर रहे हैं. Monday मन नहीं हुआ, work from home कर रहे हैं. So we have to build some policies for that, for the right culture. And there is a proper communication between the leader, like the management, like the leader and the HR. We can arrange some like meetings, like direct face-to-face meeting with the employee and the HR. So there isn't less participation from the employee side. So we have to increase that as well in the like employee engagement activity. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. So COVID ने पूरा disruption लाया market में as far as culture is concerned, right? जो उस तरफ टेबल में था वो इस तरफ आ गया, जो उस तरफ था वो इस तरफ आ गया, तो पूरा पोजीशन चेंज हो गया है. Culture is also three kind of culture. Three नहीं, there are so many culture actually. CEO culture, leadership culture, manager culture, employee culture, and then actual culture. Right? So please understand you are part of which culture. Technology also play very important role in the culture. You know, आप HRMS implement करते हो तो फिर आपसे 50 क्वेश्चन IT वाला करेगा, लीगल वाला करेगा, फिर कोई कहेगा बॉस लाइफ तो सही चल रहा है, लाने की जरूरत क्या है? Yeah. So culture is part of the change management. Change management is part of the culture. How to bring it, at what position you are, and whether every company is looking for a culture, we don't know. It's only you know because you are working with a company. Yeah. Time is very short. You want to cover something?
About the culture. Culture largely depends upon the values that you require out of your people. Where do our values come from? They largely come from the vision and the mission that the organization has. So essentially, if you follow that as a method, you will be able to reach a tail point of defining those values that people should have. Essentially, if you look at industry, has an impact on it. The type of work that people do has an impact on the values that they should have. If they're hybrid, like if they're working remotely, you need different values from them. So it all depends upon one employee to one employee that what is the type of culture that you require. So essentially, if you think it is important for your organization, there are hundreds of frameworks which can actually help you in designing it. So yeah, thank you.
I don't want to name the company, but there is a number one company or number two company in India जिनका culture और values नहीं है, but they are number one and number two company in terms of turnover, and they are fastest growing since last 5 to 10 years. Market valuation and सब कुछ high है उनका. Somebody can guess. One company who believe in a culture and values, you know, there may be maybe after 5 or 10 in overall. Yeah. So not culture and values really help in terms of productivity or turnover. It's all internally everybody need to decide.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ayushi Khandil. I'm a senior HR manager from Developer Bazaar Technologies Indore. So here I want to include the wellness aspect in our discussion. I'm amazed that why we are not talking about it, because for me as an individual and as a HR manager, the wellness of the employees is equally important. If you are talking about the employees management here, right? So my question is like, is there any kind of a feature that how we can create a smooth process, which will enhance the wellness of the employees in the organization? Because nowadays we are actually seeing that lots of employees are not having a good mental health, and which ultimately I think वो कहीं ना कहीं employees की performance को impact करता है, right? So for me as an individual and as a HR manager, I just want to ask like how we can create this process smoothly, so that we can create a good wellness thing, because management are not actually acceptable toward this side because of some budget issues are there and the other things are also. So this is my actually question, just I want to answer.
Yeah, I will give a lot of food for a thought, but let Kshitij start.
Am I audible? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So in terms of features in Keka as a platform, you can definitely create surveys. You can create cyclic well-being assessments for people. Now, if you look at it, it actually depends from industry to industry. If you go to manufacturing, safety assessment surveys are pretty critical to understand that are the working environment for laborers is safe enough or not, right? So there are so many aspects in this. I really would want to discuss more on it, so we will take it offline in interest of time of everybody. So I'll have one-to-one conversations on that. Thank you.
I'll take 60 seconds. wellness, well-being is overhyped. Is it myth or reality? You can talk to yourself. And wellness is more of self-discipline activity. Please understand. Company not going to get into this. Those who implement wellness, well-being, वही बंदा आपको बोलेंगे बॉस 8 बजे के बाद काम करो, सैटरडे संडे वॉक एंड ड्राइव करो. ये रियलिटी है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की. बिजनेस कोई नहीं कंप्रोमाइज करेंगे एज फार एज वेलनेस वेलबींग इज कंसर्न. अगर आपको सही में पता लगाना है, बिकम ए एम्प्लॉय, बिकम ए सीईओ, देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? इट्स अ सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन एक्टिविटी, दैट्स वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. एवरीबडी हैज अ गूगल. गूगल के पास कितने फीचर्स है आपको ट्रैक करने के लिए, what you are doing and what you are not supposed to do, how much you are supposed to do, when you are supposed to do. उसमें ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या करेगा? या अभी थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कन्वर्सेशन. यहाँ बोलिए.
Just to add to that point, one aspect on which employee well-being depends largely is psychological safety in a workplace. Now, what is psychological safety? While an employee works in an organization, how safe do they feel in terms of expressing the set of ideas, challenges, and the stress which comes to them every now and then? So build a psychologically safe workplace where people at least have that level of, you should have that level of tolerance as a leadership, as a managerialship, to let people express their pain. If you look at the example of Byju's today, I think almost everybody would have seen that case study, right? So what went wrong? That psychological safety is something where where people started doubting the organization. Although they have a very greater than humanity kind of a vision of revolutionizing the education tech across the globe, it's greater than humanity vision that they have. It's still they are not able to do that job because the psychological safety is gone for a toss. So that is one important aspect.
Yes. Hi, I'm Anisha Vyas from Okchi Software. You just said about self-discipline, right? So I think the main point here is employees should learn how to say no. Because आप जितना काम करोगे आपके ऊपर उतना ही काम थोपा जाएगा. कोई ये नहीं बोलेगा कि आप ये मत करो मत करो. आप जितना करोगे उतना बोलेंगे ये और कर लो, you're good at that, है ना? तो employees should learn how to say no. They should set boundaries, right? So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so it's all depend upon culture. That's good point. Depend upon culture, depend upon values, beliefs you are coming from. How many of you are being assertive to say no to your CHRO? Very few, including me, right? Yeah, depend upon maybe topic to topic. Yeah, well-being and wellness, it remind me, आजकल सभी कंपनी पॉलिसी को भी well-being and wellness initiative डाल रही है. जैसे लीव पॉलिसी, compensation policy, सब पॉलिसी को वो लोग टेक कर रहे हैं कि is this leading to wellness and well-being? So wellness, well-being is not only limited to, like he is also saying, not limited to physical, but it's more of mental and the culture driven activity as well. Yes?
So to answer that point, ma'am, one thing which will help is mutually agreed goal setting. You don't have to say no every week. Just say no while the goal is being allocated to you. So giving your people that flexibility of being involved in the goals which are being set for them and them to acknowledge those goals is very essential. If you start that as a one step where you just check that the goals set, are people happy with it or not? Are they making sense for their career paths moving forward or not? It will actually bring in that clarity to people.
A very warm and chilled good evening to everyone. Our topic of discussion is majorly related to travel and the reimbursements that every company goes through, whether, despite of the fact to which industry they belong to. What basically happens is, why do people travel? How do they have to claim their reimbursements, and the issues related to it, and what could be the solutions that a technology can provide to any company is what we are going to talk about. So I will have my mate Abhishek to talk about the issues, and then we'll talk about the solutions. There you go, Abhishek.
Thank you, Dhanashree. Good evening, everyone. I'm Abhishek from Sumeru, and we have came up with 3 major points, like while travel and reimbursement, like not having detailed policy, right, and having manual process is one of the major problem, and the final is like people dependency, which we need to reduce as much as possible. So I'll hand over to Nayan for discussing the actual solutions, right?
So just like every entrepreneur, solution is on my hand. So yeah, making people-driven system is always a toxic culture that we always face. So our solution is like a tech-driven culture where the technology take a lead and all the cost and all the management take a pace. So our solution is like creating a MIS and ESS solutions so that anyone who is applying, who's visiting to a country or who's traveling for a business, so they can see all the facilities what have been allocated to the person, what sort of budget has been allocated to that, is it going above the budget or is going under the budget, so that the employee won't end up paying with the salary and he always come into the net. So solution would be a very simple, just sign up for Keka, I guess.
Yeah, you sign up, please. Okay, कितने लोग के यहाँ सेल्फ अप्रूवल ट्रेवल मैकेनिज्म है? सेल्फ अप्रूवल, एनीबॉडी हैज अ सेल्फ अप्रूवल ट्रेवल एंड रिएम्बर्समेंट? कुछ लिमिट रहता है उसमें. ओके, वो स्ट्रक्चर से ही आता है, 5,000 10,000 का आप ट्रेवल यहाँ से बेंगलोर डिसाइड कर सकते हो, क्लिक किया, किसी को अप्रूव करने की जरूरत नहीं है. सो इट रिड्यूस लॉट ऑफ वर्क फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉय एज वेल एज मैनेजर. या ओके, ट्रेवल करो, रिएम्बर्स करते जाओ. Great. Okay, we go to the next. Okay, I committed this table. Yes. Yes, sir.
So good evening, everyone. Once again, I'll take up one point of self-approval part. What we did in our organization. We were implementing the HRMS, and the point came up about the leave approvals. Now we observed the data, which said that less than 1% of the employee requests were getting rejected by the manager. Then why the approval? So what we built as a rule, that all the leave requests, all the attendance regularization requests will get auto approved after 3 days. So okay, fine. I'll come to the problem statement, not the problem statement, the discussion point. So the point which we were given was, what are the key metrics to improve for the HR department? I'll keep it very short. So first and the foremost is revenue per employee. How much revenue we are driving, and let's say, revenue per employee, again, will have two aspects. One is the employees who are working for the revenue generation vertical, and secondly, about the entire organization, right? How much revenue per employee that we are driving. Secondly, the talent pipeline. So as an organization or as an HR team, we must know which are our key positions, and for each and every key position, whether do I have certain talent pipeline available within the organization. So let's say, we talk about COOs, CXOs. Now let's say something happens to that person. Do we have the talent available within the organization, right? So that is something that we must have. And of course, we also discuss, the team also discuss about the high pots. Third is employee satisfaction, I'll skip, which we discussed at length. The next is the attrition. Attrition again has various, facets to it. The infant attrition, the tenure, the flight risk, and so on, right? The next is aging of the open revenue positions. Now, specifically about the aging of the open positions, and within that the revenue positions, because let's say if the revenue positions are open for 30 days and that's a direct business loss to the organization. So tracking the aging of the open positions. And the last but not the least, the teeth versus tail ratio. Let's say I have 100 employees who are into the market generating revenue. How much of the employees do I have who are supporting the business? So that's what the teeth versus tail ratio. Thank you.
Okay, I want to read the topic is, what are the key metrics to improve the HR department? धीरेन सर ने बिल्कुल बिजनेस एंगल से बात किया, revenue, but that's good, it is coming. Good. Okay, तो आपको अलाइनमेंट करना पड़ेगा. कभी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में आप जाओ सीईओ के पास, उससे पूछो टॉप एचआर प्रायोरिटीज. देन गो टू लीडरशिप ऑल द बिजनेस हेड, उनसे पूछो टॉप एचआर प्रायोरिटीज. देन यू गो टू CHRO, ठीक है, और फिर अपनी टीम को बुलाओ और फिर बात करो. तो 4 लोग के आपको पता चलेगा ऑल आर डिफरेंट. तो भाई अलाइनमेंट कैसे करोगे? So all has to be come on the point, you need to pick up the top 3 and ensure, each one should be part of the कि okay CEO should feel कि बस हाँ मेरा cover हुआ है. वो goal setting is the best thing, you know, उससे पता चल सकता है. Kshitij, you want to cover?
Talking about metrics. More than metrics, it's about analytics if you look at it, right? Analytics is something which is more of a, it's something which matures over a period of time. And how does that maturity work? I'll try to talk about that a bit. So if you look at HR analytics, there are 4 maturity levels, or I would say 4 segments of HR analytics. One is the descriptive analytics, which talk about what is the current status of the organization, right? What is the amount of people that you have? What are the kind of skills that they are having? Right, so those are some of the metrics. How it is growing. Correct. So once you have, as a maturity level 1 of exploring analytics, first is to achieve the descriptive analytics, which talk about the current numbers and metrics. The second aspect, once over a period of time, if you keep tracking it, you will come to a diagnostic analytics framework. Now, diagnostic is more of over reading a historical data and understanding that which of the, in your diagnosis, which of the things which will work, which will not work. Now, I'll give you a certain example. Now, you can understand what are the top attrition months for your business. When can churn happen? You can also understand which are the best months to hire talent, right? Where when there are fishes in the pond, right? That is something you can figure out. So every single aspect through diagnostic, you can get that intelligence to make sure that your current activity is more smart. So diagnostic takes a certain amount of time period to actually give you results. Third aspect, once you have done diagnostic, there is this predictive and prescriptive. Predictive is more of, you can predict the future. Based upon the historical data, you can predict that what will happen in the upcoming future. That will help you in understanding the pipelines and the commitments that you can make for future. Prescriptive is suggestion, that what should be prescribed to the organization in terms of doing that. So one book that I would want to recommend every single one over here as a community, I had an opportunity of meeting Dave Ulrich last week in Tech HR event in Delhi. So he was the guest of honor there. I would recommend to read HR Scorecard as a book. It will give you a brilliant framework of how you can actually measure HR department in terms of what are the success metrics of doing it. So, right, Ashish.
अच्छा, कितने लोग ने ESG सुना है? ESG 1. Okay, one question. Okay, question. ठीक है, बोलिए. नहीं, आप question, yeah.
Question is for gentleman.
Kshitij, yeah.
Kshitij, I'm so sorry. So, I have read about the prescriptive analytics, and before that about the predictive analytics and all, right? So is there any HRMS which has actually implemented this analytics for a large scale organization? When I say large scale, meaning about 5,000, 7,000 employees, and how much is the accuracy rate when, let's say, we talk about the flight risk, right? Basis certain parameters which we define into the HRMS, right? Now, basis those parameters, what is the accuracy rate for those predictive analytics?
All right. So I will talk to you on this dimension itself, and this dimension is more of employee churns or attrition. So while we as a platform, we do address the size of organization that you have. We currently work with Chadi.com and brands like that, which are currently utilizing our platforms for 5,000 plus kind of workforce. Now, in terms of all these 4 models of analytics are available in our platform. In attrition, how did we solve or we approach this as a problem? If you look at attrition, there are certain parameters on which the attrition can be measured properly. Now, one of those is every time an exit is happening, we are sort of doing an exit interview, which can actually tell us every single case of the reason of why people are quitting. Every industry, every business has certain reasons. In Keka, you can configure your commonly occurring reasons, and it will give you constant analytics of which are the top areas where you are getting hurt, where you are getting attrition. So that is something which is there. It will give you a prescriptive idea about what to work on, right? What should be your upcoming strategies or objectives to make sure that you can counter those challenges. The other aspect is, we hear it a lot of time, that millennials and Gen Z are less loyal to the companies, right? They got to quit. So you can, the dashboards that we have designed, the team will also show you if you want. You can very easily figure out that what is the age group of the people who are quitting the organization, right? Is there a certain age segment, right? Gender-wise also attrition can happen. How many male or female employees have been quitting, right? You can always figure that out. You can also, there are other criteria, like let's say performance ratings. People who get poor performance ratings or lesser appraisals, lot of time quit. So how many of the people who are quitting are 4-star plus, 3-star to 4-star, right? So all of those analytics and dashboards are there on a real-time basis to tell you a story about what is hurting you as an organization. So you can always try out Keka's HRMS and take a look at it. If it does make sense, nothing like it actually. Even if it's just giving you a guiding light or an indicator, that is good enough to actually work on it, because that indicator plus the wisdom that you have earned working for the organization over a period of time gives a very clear stand of what should we do actually. So yeah, thank you.
आप इनका टेबल ज्वाइन कर लो थोड़ा अलाइनमेंट कर लो Okay, I'll go to this table. Yes, sir, time कम है हाँ.
Okay. Good evening all. My name is Dipesh Parma. I'm working as an head of business and HR operations. So our topic was training needs identification of employees. So there are a few challenges that like from an HR perspective. The first thing is a communication gap. Like in every HR faces the same thing. Neither employer nor management discusses about the same. So we need to go to the people and need to understand their requirements. The second thing is a resistance from management. Like every time we go to the management, we want this training to be developed for this employee. So there are always a resistance from management. Like we don't have a budget right now. We cannot invest thing in right now. So this is one of the challenges. The third thing is methods of training. Like we just need to understand. We just need to keep the method it should be creative issues there. Like it could be related to the learn by fun, so everyone can relate the method. The next thing is the employee resistance. There are few times, several times when employee does not want to take a training. So we need to face the same resistance as well when employee say no to the training. Then the last thing is a irregular training schedule. Like there are times when we don't have a regular training in company. So I think that's it.
Hi Ashish, my name is Ranjit. So basically we got a topic, lack of clarity in performance expectations. So lack of clarity in the performance expectations. So first we need to understand what is the performance and what is the lagging in terms of the performance. So we drop down very objective topics. I'll not go subjective. The number one is so talent mapping is an issue with the right talent, right fitment of the skill set of the candidate. Second one is the organization fitment. We can also say cultural fitment is an issue for the lacking of performance clarity and performance expectations. Number three, leadership, which is basically when I'm talking about the leadership. So we just see we can see a lot many company leader are Gen Z kind of Gen X people. The team members belongs to the Gen Z category, and the leadership quality leadership team basically belongs to the what you can say boomer, early boomer kind of category peoples. So there is a huge expectation mismatch, and the clarity thought process mismatch with the leaders and their teammate itself. So that is one of the points. So number four, timely feedback of the performance. That is another issues we just drop down. So these are the four major issues when we talk about the lack of clarity in the performance expectation.
Yeah, thank you. We have spoken enough on goal setting and PMS, right? Anybody want to add? I want to give 30 seconds. इस टॉपिक पे किसी को बात करना है? Lack of clarity in performance expectation management. नहीं, सबको भूख लगा है, right? हाँ? Training was the point. The training need identification. COVID has really done again lot of disruption. Reskill, upskill, cross skill. One data says CEO are very worried because their 40% employee always need to be reskill, upskill. HR के पास बहुत काम है. And the training department is more busy than the CHRO. So recruitment was the first who was reporting to business. Most of the recruitment guy report to business. Now learning and development department became another function which is reporting to business. It's going to be different than the HR, though some of the organization may be part of the HR. So यहाँ पे आपके कुछ point है, right?
My name is Vedika Gupta. I'm from Visoid Studio. So I have a same topic with the table number 1, that is effective employee onboarding. So adding to their points, I have one point that there should be a 30, 60, 90 employee feedback. Like once the employee get onboarded, after 30 days, after 60 days, and after 90 days, there should be a feedback session, either directly or like a online platform, so that we will be able to know that either they have understood their roles and responsibility or not, like where they are facing problems, they are comfortable with the culture and all, everything. So this is the point.
With onboarding, it remind me two things. Again, COVID has brought lot of disruption. पहले लैपटॉप कितने दिन में मिलता था एम्प्लॉय को? Before COVID, 1 week, 1 week, right? Or 2 days, 3 days? या कुछ लोग को मिलता ही नहीं था लैपटॉप और डेस्कटॉप, राइट? अभी ऐसा हो गया है, बिफोर ज्वाइनिंग पीपल आर गेटिंग लैपटॉप एट देयर होम बिफोर ज्वाइनिंग. Is Indore doing all this? So that's one disruption. Second disruption is, which is taking place effective onboarding, is HR is spending a lot of money on joining kit. HR used to go to CHRO and CEO की boss, joining kit ये 100 रुपए का book चाहिए. They don't want to invest. Today actually they are saying, guys, I need to have my joining kit. Very good. So it's a business opportunity है, थोड़ा indirectly समझो. Joining kit company is earning much more than anyone else, you know. एक एम्प्लॉय का ज्वाइनिंग किट 2000-3000 का होता है. सर आप कुछ ऐड करना चाहते हैं? That is the last. Any table is left out?
Hello everyone. This is Devesh from Verti System. So actually, luckily I have seen the demo very detailed. So I am not having any questions about Keka. Even I know the meaning of Keka. So because we have a very good discussion with Rahul, I think I was missing that guy. So my simple question is like, this is the sponsored event, and you have, brought all of us together. Indore is really good, and your competitor will come again. They will be targeting us, and we will be sponsored by some other person. So what will be our major takeaways from you? Because you guys are really doing great. So my question is like, are you into something like white paper kind of thing? Because we need a long-term guidance about HR. I think we will be enjoying this thing definitely after having a good dinner. But how we will be still connected with you? So are you having any plan? So one thing you was asking, are you like involved into HR analytics? Yes, I have done my HR analytics. I know what data and numbers are. But you will be covering your sales part, and we will be covering our HR part. So how we will be connected, and how we will be planning again to meet here, because you are targeting Indore, and I think there are 2 more cities lined up I have seen outside. So what I want to ask is that how we will be still connected. Are you having any kind of research as well? You publish the things and then we will read out, and just in case if we find any difficulty, then definitely we'll reach out to you. Thanks a lot. I think this was supposed to be my last answer. You have 40 seconds.
All I require is your email ID. The newsletter will reach you very cyclically. We do that. We run academy, we run blog posts, we run actually a lot of podcasts also, if you look at it. So there is a series of information that we actually bring out for our audience. I'll make sure that my team helps you with the set of.
So if you want, we'll send you mail every day, every hour, with good data, with good knowledge, with good information, with predictive information. But thanks for that very good question. I think he wants us to come again and again in Indore. Okay, which table left out? Yes. No diversity in
out
this
of
table?
Respect for the tables and the effort that they have put, I think we should wait for another 5 minutes, even though we are running late.
Okay, good evening everyone. This side Ankita from Linkites Infotech Private Limited. Today we got the topic, how to simplify employee documents management. I will try my best to keep it short and crisp. So the first thing is mitigating the paperwork as much as possible. Second, providing easy and appropriate accessibility. For example, providing links whereby uploading and downloading the documents would be a little easier and simpler for each and everybody. And it counters the another challenge that we need to keep an eye for keeping of the authenticity of the information as well. And the last one, when it comes to submitting the documents, it would be really helpful if some nudging functionalities are there, which are providing some reminders to the employees to submit the missing documents if they are having any. Thank you.
Good.
So इसमें बस 1 मिनट मैं ले लेता
Yes,
हूँ. If I talk about documents management, एक workplace में documents management की अगर बात करें तो there are infinite places if you look at it. I'll tell you some common categories. Onboarding related documents हैं जो कि हमें employees से चाहिए कि एक आपको वो manage करने के लिए workflows देता है. आप in one touch you can do that. Second is आपके policy documents आपको acknowledge कराने होते हैं, zero tolerance policy, POSH policy and stuff like that. आप acknowledgement, digital acknowledgement ले सकते हैं, वो भी आपका sorted है paperwork. आपके तीसरा aspect है आपके let's say day to day travel bills documents हैं, वो manage हो जाएगा platform पे. Tax declaration proofs हैं, end to end tax declaration clear tax के साथ हम integrated हैं, तो आप वो भी seamlessly without any documents आप manage कर सकते हैं. So जितने भी aspects हैं documents के, every single aspect of HR, we have it in our platform with an OCR technology which can automatically detect the fields and fill information in system. So you know, you can all, people who would want to understand how Keka helps in documents management, team will help it out. Thank you.
Yeah, as much as we can simplify, that's really good for everyone. How many of you have used Digi Yatra and airport? Digi Yatra, it's there only in 6 airport, I believe. Yeah, Mumbai, Bangalore, and major airport. And so the good part of that is you don't need to do anything. Upload everything at one place. You just need to click on key. Okay, where are you going? You will just run through the door, nothing else. No need to open your Aadhaar card, PAN card, or identification. Security will look at your face, then say you are the same guy.
All right.
So, as much as you can simplify, nothing like this. Yeah, we can wind up now.
Firstly, thank you so much, Keka team, for organizing this event. So our topic is how can HR assist with employee grievances. So I think everyone is facing this issue in a company. It is in a common. Like grievances basically related to the payroll, employee conflicts. So let me take an example of the recent grievance which all we are facing. Holiday on the 14th August, isn't it? Like everyone is getting a mail for the 14th August from each and every employee. So like what are the strategies we are using in our company that we are assigning a work from home to all? Like everyone wants a leave, we have a headache, we want to go and trip. So like to maintain a healthy relationship with an employee, it's a big strategy to solve any grievances in the company. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I think just one big round of applause, if I could hear it, that would be very motivating. I know we bored people up. So yes, coming to the last bit of it, there is a quick video that we wanted to play for your Thank you very much. So this, we very recently achieved integration with ChatGPT, where you can actually utilize AI features for creating all the different kind of daily content which you require over the platform. This help, from goal settings to management of creating job descriptions on day-to-day basis. You can do all of that in just clicks in Keka. So thank you very much for being so patient. Dr. Nishat, the platform is all yours.
So very sorry everybody for all the time that we have taken, and thanks Kshitij for holding on to the audience attention. Right, so we would like to know your thoughts about what you think holds in store for HRs for the next 5 years. Or for that matter, what are the strategies that you think an HR should focus on for the next year or for 2023 itself for that matter, correct? So you can find us at the end of the room or outside, and we would love to take your bites on it, right? And that being said, the event closes for the day, and we would love to see you in the next conferences that we'll be having. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey. And yeah, looking forward to having you all, share your views on WhatsApp. So yeah, one last thing is that you might have seen all the photographers taking your pictures, correct? So there is a QR code outside, the room here at the reception. And you can just scan it and you'll be joined into a WhatsApp group where all the pictures and everything will be shared, right? So, and the next point is that if any of you guys want to take pictures with Kshitij or Ashish, they'll be in the same room and you can find them here. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your day ahead.